I fixed Avatar. I love Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's the greatest animated series of all time. Period. But a long time ago, when the show was still airing, Nick made a movie, and it was doomed from the start. I just spent the last few hours watching and re-editing the Avatar movie, and I learned a lot. Mostly that this franchise could have been amazing, but it was all ruined by 3 weird choices. If you want to watch this movie and actually enjoy it, go to the link down below. I fixed the entire movie, and now it's watchable. If you want to laugh with some friends at this movie's absurdity, watch it on Netflix. But if you want to see what it could have been, watch my cut of it, for free. You don't even have to download it. You just click and watch. So now, I'm going to explain why this movie was a wasted opportunity. This entire movie was ruined by a few bad choices right at the start. They can be separated into 3 groups: casting choices, studio choices, and weird Shyamalan choices. Casting choices. This movie has a lot of problems to work with. Casting very iconic characters is hard, especially when they're animated and you're trying to make them live action. But it's even harder when they're kids. M. Night needed a bunch of kids who can do realistic martial arts, express incredibly deep and complex emotions, and who looked like a fictional animated character. Just attempting this movie is a nightmare. But the casting choices are even weirder. If you don't know, the world of Avatar is based on different Asian cultures, and each form of bending is based on a different martial art. So when casting, you want to make sure everything is accurate to the show. The waterbenders are based on Inuits, the Earth Nation is based on China, the firebenders are based on Japan, and the airbenders are based on different groups of monks. So I have no idea why the casting is so weird. I have theories, but I'm not going to speculate on things I don't know for sure. But it seems like they wanted to be diverse. They changed some races around. Gyatso was a basic old Asian man, but now they make him a younger black man. The Earth colony is pretty diverse in this movie, so a lot of people are really confused when Sokka and Katara look like this. Why are they white? But even weirder, it seems like entire countries were substituted. The waterbenders are now white. The earthbenders and the airbenders are the same as they used to be. But I guess M. Night likes firebenders because he made them all Indian, so they'd be more like him. It's a weird choice, but okay. This bothered a lot of people. Why change the source material so much? Then, when you watch the movie, the acting isn't bad. The problem is if you're a fan of the show, hearing them pronounce names differently is irritating. I can't believe they changed every character's name. It really feels like they're trying to say the names all the time. Normally in a movie, you wouldn't just go around saying everybody's name repeatedly. I think they were trying to be more accurate to the actual pronunciation of those names. But at the same time, they're changing all the country's races. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't whitewash and try to pronounce things correctly to respect the language. Either they did it for that, or they didn't give a shit. Or they did it because they thought it would make more money. And if I hear Sokka, Aang, or Iroh again, I'm going to bust a blood vessel in my eye. Before I move on, I just want to say, Iroh is awesome in this movie. And Dev Patel is really good as Zuko. I would have loved to see more intense stuff with them in the sequels, but that never got to happen. Studio choices. This movie is terribly paced, especially in the beginning. It was almost impossible to re-edit it. There's not much to even work with. Entire scenes are rushed or deleted entirely. I actually debated dubbing over the entire movie with the audio from the show, but that would take way too long. But I think overall, 90 minutes is too short for this movie. You're taking an entire season, hours of content, and turning it into 90 minutes. Why? If you're going to make this a blockbuster, why not go big? Why do the bare minimum? If it was longer, they could have done the Earth prison scene justice. Actually took time to see how Aang feels. They could have done the Storm episode, the most important part of the show. The episode that sets everything up. But no. The Earthbenders are now imprisoned in a quarry, surrounded by stone, and they could escape at any point, and they just don't. And they need Aang to show them that, oh yeah, they can just get out whenever they want. They turn Kyoshi Island into just a statue. There's no Suki. There's no giant monster that he has to fight. None of that. And Sokka and Yue have literally 3 minutes in the entire movie. Shortening the movie ruins everything. There's no time to breathe. And if characters don't breathe, why should I care if they stop breathing? Also, they constantly have to keep mentioning that Aang ran away and froze himself. Why not actually show it? You're already changing the order of stuff. Why not open the movie with Aang running away in the storm and freezing himself? Then you could start with the Northern Water Tribe. Or even better, do what the show does and have Aang actually think and reflect on the fact that he ran away, instead of quickly saying in a tent, I ran away and I got frozen. When the monks die, we barely see him taking it in. It's like a 2-minute pit stop. We spend more time getting the waterbending scroll than seeing his surrogate father die. Seems like a bad decision, Nick. Shyamalan's artistic choices. M. Night has made a lot of movies. Some of them actually good. But most of the time, he always has the same problem. He makes weird choices. Super artistic choices that no one catches until years later. Either he's not very good at conveying these choices, or they just don't work with the audiences. He always takes gambles, makes bold and insane choices, and that ripples across the movies, and it changes everything. Sometimes it works, but other times it doesn't. He lost the bet hard on this one. So here's the choice he made. A lot of people don't get the deeper parts of the show. If you don't know, the main theme song of Avatar is called The Dance of Dragons, and it's played throughout the entire show. And in one of the last few episodes, we learn where it comes from. The Sun Warriors. Aang and Zuko learn that all firebenders have been taught wrong for generations. And only them and Iroh know the real way to firebend. Without anger. Without force. You don't dominate the fire. You meld with it. Fire can be all sorts of colors. All kinds of temperatures. And they have lost it. So, after Aang and Zuko win, they change the Fire Nation to reflect that. So, it's 2010 and you're M. Night Shyamalan. You completely understand Avatar and how all the different bending disciplines work, even down to the minute details of the Sun Warriors with firebending. And trust me, he does know this. Now you want to explain that visually, that firebending is being done wrong, that Iroh is the only one who knows the real shit. How do you do it? Maybe change the color? Maybe show more of his spiritual side. Good choices. M. Night gambles. Instead of buffing Iroh and making him stronger, he's going to nerf everyone else. He's going to make them weaker. So, firebenders in this movie can't make fire. They can only control fire that already exists. It's an interesting choice, but the result of this choice pissed everyone off. It makes the fights dumber, and most people misinterpret what he's trying to say. So you get people saying that that's not how firebending works. And they're not wrong, they just don't get what he was going for. In conclusion, there's a lot of blame to go around. The studio shortened the runtime, so the movie feels too quick. We don't care about the characters because we haven't spent any time with them or gotten to really know them. The Earthbenders look like idiots, and they do this weird dance number out of nowhere where like 6 of them appear, and that makes people think that it takes 5 Earthbenders to shoot a rock, when actually only one guy shot that rock. He was just slightly off frame. M. Night's choices were too bold, so people didn't understand it, and they mispronounce and whitewash the leads. With these 3 choices, these 3 mistakes, they cause ripples. Superficial changes somehow ripple across the entire thing. So when people watch the movie, hoping it's good, worried it won't be, they hate it. That's not Katara. Why are all the races different? Why is this movie so fast? What's happening? Why did you just gloss over the Airbender genocide? It's just a sentence you say while you see a bunch of skeletons. And then when they see the earthbending scene, the worst part of the movie, they disconnect. And now they hate it. The martial arts and the VFX don't seem intentional. Yue's hair looks like a penis from behind. How did no one see this? Instead of Mark Hamill's voice and you never seeing the Fire Lord's face, now the Fire Lord is boring. Zhao won't shut the hell up about the Great Library. He repeats it like 7 times in the movie. I wish I could use interdimensional cable and watch the sequels of this movie that never got made. The movie made money, but people were so pissed off they stopped making the sequels. It bled over into the show, and Avatar began to fade. All hope was lost. But now, because Avatar hit #1 on Netflix for months in a row, it's getting another one made. And not just that, an entire studio has been made specifically to make Avatar content. But I'm sure the live-action show will suck. I hope they don't fuck it up, but I know they will. They've already said in interviews they want a darker tone, more like Game of Thrones. That's pretty bad for the future of the Avatar TV show. But I still can't wait, because Avatar is an amazing show. It's one of the best shows ever made, and they can't take that away from us. And we're getting an animated Avatar movie at some point, and another Avatar show at some point. There's an entire studio now that exists specifically to make Avatar content. And I'm excited to see what happens. But anyway, watch my movie, please. Please watch it. Please. I just want people to watch it. I don't care. It doesn't give me money. It doesn't give me views or anything. I just want the personal satisfaction of knowing that I helped someone watch a movie that they used to hate, that I took away some of that disappointment. Just saying the movie is better tricks you into watching it again with open and clear eyes. And I'm sure you're still going to get mad if you're a fan of Avatar and you watch the movie, because their names are not pronounced right, and I cannot fix it. I tried for hours to fix it. I was going to dub the whole movie with the TV show, but it just couldn't work, and I was trying, and it turned out as good as I can. And I'm going to keep editing these movies. And if you have any ideas for movies I can re-edit, or movies that are disappointing in some way, movies where there may be a gay romance that was hidden away by corporate bullshit, or just a movie that's kind of disappointing overall, I might be able to give it a second chance if I look through it. Leave it down in the comments. Watch the movie. Let me know if this is worth it. Anyway, thanks for listening. Bye.